Hey folks, this is Kelani. Welcome back to the Tomb of Sargeras raid guide for normal and heroic. This time we'll be looking at the Demonic Inquisition. You'll be facing off against Atragan and Belak, and they each have plenty of abilities to keep you busy. The most important part of this fight is managing your Torment. Almost every ability in this fight will apply small amounts of Torment, and when you reach max Torment you basically become useless. Your damage and healing are reduced, your hit chance is reduced by 90%, and you take 90% extra damage. To get rid of your Torment, you will need to use your extra action button to confess. When you confess, you'll be transported inside Belak's prison. Inside that prison, you'll find a tormented soul, and damaging the soul will drop glowing orbs. Picking up those orbs is the only way to reduce your Torment. When you're back down to 0, you can leave using your extra action button again. While inside the prison, everyone will take damage over time, which starts to stack up, so you need to be in and out as quickly as possible. There will also be green swirls which damage anyone who stands in them. The best way to handle confessing is waiting for the tank who is currently tanking Atragan to get high Torment, and then tank swap so your tormented tank can go into the prison. Any DPS with high Torment should also confess, as well as any high Torment healers. Obviously make sure to leave enough healers outside to keep your raid alive. Your tank should always be the last one to leave the prison to make sure the ad doesn't kill any unsuspecting DPS. Make a note of where you come out of the confessed prison. This area should be kept clear of any and all abilities so people exiting the prison aren't immediately in danger. Avoiding any extra Torment is going to be crucial in this fight, as you can't afford to have too many people confess at once. So let's talk boss abilities. Atragan is the only boss who can be tanked, so don't worry too much about Belak. Atragan's Bone Scythe will apply 2 Torment with every attack, which is what forces your tanks to eventually have to confess. He will also use Scythe Sweep, which deals a large amount of damage to anyone in front of Atragan, so make sure your tanks are facing him away from the raid. He will also periodically cast Bone Saw. Atragan will start to Blade Storm, dealing damage and applying 4 Torment to anyone nearby. He will also be slowed during this cast, so your tank should kite him around the room away from the raid group. While Bonesaw is active, anyone in the raid who damages Atragan will also gain extra Torment, so make sure you swap to Belak. On Heroic, he will also cast Calcified Quills. He'll target a random player, and a barrage of spikes will emerge from the ground in a cone towards the target. Anyone who isn't targeted by the ability should move away from the targeted player, so only they get hit. Anyone who gets caught will take a bunch of damage and get knocked into the air. Belak will always stand in place and cast, so he doesn't need to be tanked. He will cast Pangs of Guilt, which has to be interrupted, and he casts it often. You'll need to set up a 3-player interrupt rotation to make sure they are never finished, as it will deal a huge amount of raid-wide damage. If any of your interrupters need to confess, make sure you have backups ready to get those interrupts in. He will also cast Echoing Anguish, which applies a debuff to several random players. Those players will take damage over time and gain 4 Torment every second. The afflicted players need to move out of the raid and call for a Dispel when they're alone, as the debuff will explode when removed, dealing damage and applying 10 Torment to everyone within 8 yards. Dispelling these too early will very quickly stack up Torment on your entire raid, so make sure the players are alone before they get dispelled. Belak will also cast Tormenting Burst. This is just raid-wide AoE damage, which also applies 4 Torment to everyone. You can't avoid it, so you just have to heal through it. Similar to Atragan's Bonesaw, Belak will periodically cast Fell Squall. He will stand in place and deal damage around himself, which applies Torment to anyone hit. Just move away from Belak and swap to Atragan, as attacking Belak during Fell Squall will also give you Torment. On Heroic mode, Belak will also cast Suffocating Dark, which spawns purple bubbles on random players which deal damage and apply 10 Torment every second you're inside of it, so you need to get out quick. Your range should be spread throughout the room so multiple people don't get caught in the same bubble. Make sure you have enough people each time raid members go into confess so they can make it out alive, and you should be golden. And that's all you should need to take down the Demonic Inquisition on normal and heroic. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible, or hop on over to Discord. We have a server at discord.gg/Kelani, great place to come ask questions or just hang out. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.